know if the lives and deaths of millions weren't in the balance. This would make a fine agility course. But the rift modulator ought to make our path clearer.
Attention! This is your anti-calling. Per our agreement, Anti's choice support ships, including the fine print, the contingency plan, and the upper hand, are headed your way. Order forces are on a similar trajectory.
Expected this camaraderie all my life. But with both of them backing us, we got a real chance.
My plasma shower days are behind me when I'm up trying.
What is it?
Give the orders in, I'll take care of them, Commander. Henry, you about. All right, move!
Told me to give it some space.
My aftermarket part.
Commander. I'll see you up front.
Medics and pharmaceutical provisions incoming. And we're right behind them with a delivery of Anti's choice finest supplies. Soon you'll say, that's it.
Forward! Forward! Destroy these abominations! Adjusting calculations. Hold fire on our allies.
N-ray. Exposure. Under
Got my last coming unpresent. Check the load off.
That sounds like Helen? No.
Get away from me. See them? They were my teammates and they didn't listen neither. You'll end up just the same.
Helen? It's me, Niles.
Wait, Rookie? Commander? Is that you? No, this must be some kind of trick. Oh, what's happening to me? So it is you. Thank Law. I don't understand what happened, Commander. Something was wrong with Sandoval and Jepson. They glowed like they were aflame. They ran in, jumped at me, clawed at me. Oh,
Oh, Helen. That's awful. But you were only defending yourself. I'd have done no different.
I don't understand what's happening. Everything was fine. Till the explosion. I was pinned. Fire closed in. I tried to move. I tried to find the rookie. Then the whole station shook and tore apart. And then...
She was alive when the rift engulfed the station. That's how she's here now. We could have saved her, Commander.
Wait. There was something else. Sandoval was yelling. DeVries wasn't responding to comms. What? Don't tell me the situation got too fluid for you, DeVries.
Certainly not.
I was focused on the objective, as every one of your crew should have been. Isn't that right, Commander?
Yeah. Something tells me that ain't quite true.
That's right. It wouldn't do to have any distractions. I'm thankful that you understand.
Oh. But everything ain't right, is it? That thing in the sky. It's done something to me, I think. And to Sandoval. And Jepson.
It's called reconstitution. The Protectorate are trying to put the whole station back to how it was before it was destroyed. You included.
So I've come back from death to some warped version of life? All because of some twisted experiment? You can help me though. Right, Commander? You can do something to fix this. Boyd. This is it, ain't it? I'll never see the sun again. Never fly in our ship. Never anything. No, this must be some kind of sick protect.
Easy, Helen. This ain't a trick. I promise you.
Pascal, stand down.
No.
Wish we could have talked her down, but she's not suffering any longer. And she got retribution before the end, too. Suppose that's something. Wish we could have talked her down, but at least she's not suffering any longer.
I reckon you can't exactly say she didn't have it coming.
You're the one who forged an alliance between Auntie's Choice and the Order, ain't you? We got supplies and medical support.
You with Auntie?
Hold clear.
We brought
You may
supplies.
approach,
We're here to
Commander.
help.
We've got supplies at the ready. Are you in need of any weapons, armor, or other supplies? The presiding bishop foresaw this. We are most grateful for your role in reconciling Auntie's Choice and the Order. The Order of the...
Initial observations conclude that the subject is suffering from multiple ailments. Just as I predicted. You appear to have suffered any treatments or supplies you may require. Very well. You shouldn't. Initial observations conclude that the subject does not possess major ailments.
There's the province.
Part of the whole red space to the sun.
Look there. That rover looks inbound from the skip labs.
On your toes.
Busted loot.
Back in business.
Back off!
Couldn't the Rift have brought back some janitor mechs instead?
look around.
Suppose this is a bad time to mention I barely passed my high-intensity arithmetic course at the academy? Oh, was that all we needed?
Reckon we can input this equation in that terminal we found.
This is Scientist Bernard Rand, sent to Horizon Point Station by order.
Now we can get through the chamber. And we won't expire immediately like our friend here.
Readings in the old skip lab. The core appears to be holding plasma tightly around it, not unlike a planet and its moons. Fascinating, though it thwarts my attempts to gather more data. Fortuitously, in searching the remains of the lab, I found an equation that could manipulate the core just enough to clear the chamber. And my way to professional acclaim. Let this be a record of Protectorate ingenuity. Bernard Rand, the man who fearlessly indicates, obtained it.
Hostile!
rift mine.
Crew deck. Intruder alert. Be vigilant. Looks like the outpost.
Troublemaker approaching.
No need to give us
Better get a move on before this ramshackle spraffle of a station falls apart. Hustle up to the silent wing. Get the rift modulator. I'll talk at you later.
you must replace lost equipment, please submit proof of punishment. Unit does not accept blood. Please make a request.
Better get a move on before this ramshackle sprattle of a station falls apart. Hustle up to the side. Get the rift modulator.
Yeah, you know, I'd really rather not deal with any of that.
Can we try the elevator?
Spy movement! Got my lamps on an unfront. Ready to waste.
This tight, the modulator must be close by. I'm mighty curious about what these scientists were up to.
Did you not hear the intruder alert from the crew deck? This is a very poor time to be loitering somewhere you should not. You'd best present a very convincing reason for your presence, lest I order our automechs to smear you across the floor. Oh, yes, of course. Worry not, I would never misuse our machines to literally crush my enemies. If there's a maintenance issue, speak with Chief Scientist Montserrat. He's by the Rift Modulator at the moment. Show him these credentials and he'll get you situated. Of course, the Consul's vision for an idealized version of Arcadia are paramount to my own aims. It's my wife, you see. She's never loved me, and she chews with her mouth open. Through the Consul's plan, I expect to see both issues rectified. Especially the latter one. Montserrat asserts that this is not how the rift shall work, but I believe he simply needs to redouble his devotion.
I just received word that you were here to fix something. What exactly was it that you needed? I'm rather short on time, as a gander outside might tell you. Yeah, well, we all have urgent needs. And mine is to keep my lab and hopefully the rest of this system from falling apart. I need the modulator for my own analysis. You can wait.
So you are familiar with the work we're doing?
Tell me.
What do you make of our experimentations?
So then you've come to the same conclusions as I. Though, you're not the one I must convince to deviate from this mess that we're in. Our situation is far more dire than it may seem. There is no proof that Rift data can be stabilized or even edited. The Consul's plan will fail complete, which is distressing. I've prepared a report for him showing how the very structure of the modulator makes what we're attempting impossible. But I doubt he will pay it much mind. Yes, but as I said, I fear the report won't do any good. It's clear you aren't bound by the same rules as the rest of us somehow. If he won't hear me out, perhaps a third party will have more luck. Here, use this keycard on the module over there. It will allow you to download my report and grant you access. I hope you're able to sway him. Because if you don't, a deck up in the control room. The Consul is the only one who has the means of controlling it, which makes your persuading him that much more...
Accessing report. Rift restoration analysis. Compiled by Chief Scientist Monserrate. Marked for delivery to Consul...
Esteemed Consul, after much analysis, my conclusion is that the modulator we have worked tirelessly to build will not function as intended when used for reconstituting matter from rifts. Every test of reconstitution has resulted in demonstrable failure. Proceeding as we are now with Horizon Point Station will surely lead to severe... The modulator is only effective at closing rifts from unsafe distances. Using it to close exacerbated rifts will certainly lead to the destruction, unfortunately, and we are now out of time. All of our recent readings suggest that we're on the verge of losing control of this rift. I recommend diverting from our current plan. Both that included extensive notes and annotations appended to the modulator schematics to...
Well, we got the schematics. This report got me asking questions. If they found rifts in deep space, where humanity supposedly ain't been, how did they form? It don't add up.
It's a stumper, all right. But we'll have to worry about it later. Right now, we should concentrate on finding... Consul.
Look at you, here before me. Surprised you could outrun these new legs of mine. They're what everyone's going to be wearing next fall. Well, I'm here now. Where's the rift modulator? So Consul Thoreau has everything directly under his control. I'd say that's remarkably competent for the Protectorate, but he is the one who's been pulling their strings all along. Did you find anything else of note? Wait, what? But rifts are caused by skip drive travel. Human-piloted skip drive travel. How is that possible? Oh, nothing would please me more. Just think, another form of intelligent life to sell goods to. A chance to create needs no one ever knew existed for beings we never knew Much as I'm intrigued by the significance of... You might be savvy enough to talk him down, but his type requires a deft touch. You'll need to break him down brick by brick. If you're too adversarial, he'll simply shut down. Well, that's a trait you and I have in common. Just remember, pick the right weak spot to undermine. Never be obvious. And in case you aren't quite as sharp...
Ain't opposed to speaking with the man, but I reckon you're both in for a nasty surprise if you think he'll play...
I advise... And if you've...
Never would I ever have believed Auntie Cleo herself would walk through that door. But I haven't time to linger in the novelty. Sentinels, if you would.
Do I appear like someone afraid of a few guns? Give it up, Emery. You've lost this war. Have some dignity. You're coming off desperate.
On the contrary, this desperate action is what will save all of Arcadia and rid it forever of trespassers like you. Do not place his decision at my feet. I know it's difficult for the likes of you to fathom the concept of self-sacrifice, but he chose mental refreshment for the good of us all. And what am I to do but carry on his legacy? What am I to do but achieve what he could not? I'll only be killing a select number permanently. The worthy, however, will be resurrected and reformed so they may reach their full potential. Open your mind, Commander. Yes, I know well who you are. In any other situation, I might be compelled to take you apart and see how precisely it is you operate, but time, it would seem. You are a relic of an impotent institution, propelled forward by nothing more than luck and foolhardy metal. Indeed. Rarely are there enough measures to keep the most tenacious of sprats from gnawing their way in. I've been following your progress closely, you know, since you so unceremoniously caused our Vox relay to crash into Westport. When you began your dealings with the Order and the Corporatists, I thought that perhaps having a chaotic element in their midst could work in our favor. But now you're here, scurrying around my ship and attempting to thwart the Protectorate yet again. You think yourself clever, don't you? The Sovereign is indisposed, leaving myself as the sole custodian of Arcadia. What's his is mine. And the victory I inevitably clench over you, over anyone, will be his in turn, even if he's not here to bask in it. For all your bluster, you seem more concerned with running your mouth than improving your performance in the field. Tell me, did you manage to stop us from bringing your peace talks to a swift end? As I recall, Greater Tranquility was reduced to little more than mangled ruins in a single moment.
Do you know how many bits our corporation lost when the delegation ships were destroyed? The savings from the deceased salaries hardly even make up for it.
It was a modest success. I had hoped it'd hobble Auntie's choice in the Order once and for all, but it has proven to be a valuable lesson in patience. I was able to buy the time to enact the very plan before you. Though, judging from that vacant expression on your face, very well. Once the rift destroys Arcadia, we shall edit the information stored within it and use the modulator to reshape our colony into its perfect form. Horizon Point's destruction all those years ago was a tragedy, yes, but without it, we might never have opened our eyes to our true purpose. And the possibility. When the Matriarch discovered the first skip drive, she set us on a course to elevate humanity. We're now writing our path. And I will... Intrepid, aren't you? Well, what's relevant is what came after. Our Matriarch dissected this skip drive technology, learned its secrets, and enabled us to produce them en masse, which eventually led to the manifestation of Rift. But it was not until well after Horizon Point's untimely end that we understood the opportunity gifted us. The opportunity to reconstruct the colony in its perfect form. It is as the Grand Architect designed. And believe you me, I've no intention of letting you thwart our securing of a better future. One free of doubt and greed. It's your time that's running out, not mine. So go on, tell me all the ways I'm wrong. Better yet, tell the whole room how His Eminence, the Sovereign, was wrong. This was originally his plan, after all. I am merely a partner, seeing it carried out. If it means preserving the Matriarch's legacy and the dedicated Protectorate among us, yes, without question. Those who are worthy will live again. As for the others, they are no innocents. I shall not mourn any perpetrator of unsanctioned violence or treachery, and will in fact thrive in their absence.
Unsanctioned violence. Right. Because it's only good violence when it's committed by the state.
Hush. I was conversating with your leader here.
Don't imagine yourself a visionary, Emery. You're an ineffective administrator, an amateur marketeer, a middling megalomaniac. You have no new ideas. You're exceptional at nothing. And there's nothing wrong with that, dear. Just recognize it. If you don't have talent, you simply need to hire it. You've been sorely in need of outside help since the start.
Sweet, merciful architect. Well, where were we? Yes, well, we also lost the support of the Order. But can one truly call that a loss? We would have drowned already in the seas of war with the weight of their inaction around our necks. The same can be said for any subject who wavers. They are dead weight, and we must cast them. Once I win the war and leave those naysayers behind, harsh action will be swiftly forgotten. Indeed, that's why my strongest supporters wholeheartedly believe in me and the Protectorate cause. So which is it? Can my people see reason, as you so aptly put it? Or are they mindless? So you say. But though it matters, you will not distract me from taking what is owed to us. And what is your definition of wrong? Have you anything substantial to back such a claim? I see. Well, the man was always a cynic. I find that attitude can skew results even more than a thumb on the scale might. One data point means little. The Protectorate was clearly meant to harness this power. Nothing you claim can disprove everything that points to this reality. And now I've reached... You came here claiming so boldly that I would fail, but you have yet to provide any proof. So where is it? What do you have? And leave the traitors and invaders alive? No! Death is the only way forward. We can only be made pure from the ashes, despite whatever supposed proof you have to the contrary. Claim? If you cannot see the truth of my devotion written plain, then now I see why you are against me so. But you are wrong about the risk. We are losing this war. It is inevitable. The victors will brutally subdue us until we become corrupted. Until we forget our principles, our history, the very core of who we are. It is better that we perish together as proud Protectorate, proud Arcadians. Preserving our purity is a mercy. More than that, is it not? Even through extreme hardship and the tyranny of corporatists? Even if every aspect of the framework we've established is torn down around them? No. No. There may yet be other ways to save my beloved Arcadia, but I cannot be the one to see them to their completion. I surrender. It seems we have a problem. The rift has... well, it has nearly destabilized completely. And the modulator cannot close it in its current state from a safe... Destruction of Arcadia is imminent. Architect, help us. There is. Though, given your tenacity in preventing bloodshed, I don't believe you'll appreciate it. A chance yet remains. We must bring the modulator as close to the rift as possible. However, when the rift folds in on itself, this ship and its operator will not survive.
You've got to be shitting me. We didn't come all this way, work this hard, just to die.
Oh, Emery, taking a page from Auntie's Choice product testing, I see. We do try to avoid a consistent certainty of death, though. It's just bad business.
Let me be clear. I am not placing this burden upon your shoulders. This was my doing. And so it is. I will give you time to vacate the ship. When you are clear, I will fly it into the rift myself. You are right. Think what you wish of me, but this is my responsibility.
And how can we trust you ain't intending to deceive?
I don't begrudge your low opinion of my Now go. Make what's left of your existence count. Only someone such as yourself could distill...
And so, in the end, when the Consul was faced with the undeniable errors in his logic, he chose to save Arcadia by closing the rift himself. He died hoping his sacrifice might make up for the disastrous decisions he had made. Thanks to the Commander's quick thinking in sparing it from the Vox Station's fiery crash, Paradise Island's Fairfield remained a profitable company town for Auntie's Choice. For his outside-the-box thinking and innovative propaganda techniques, D.B. Milverstreet was promoted, while rival Officer Carr seethed at her lack of upward mobility, or even bronze-tier executive benefits. Vigilant Hogarth, now acclimated to Fairfield, leaned on the Protectorate ideals of neighborliness, while overlooking all the authoritarian tactics, so he might help the Order to succeed with the equation. Auntie's Choice assumed control over the day-to-day workings of Matriarch's Mercy, the better to monitor their new colleagues in the Order. The monastery, however, returned to normal operation, tracking the clockwork of the grand plan. The monastery's abbot became a scapegoat for recent tragic events, having not detected Wiley's dastardly schemes. His superiors demoted him, mainly to show their corporatist allies that academics could keep their people in line too. Seer Wiley fled the Order and sought refuge in a backwater Arcadian town to contemplate his failings. As word of the ex-seer's arrival spread, people lined up for predictions. Forsaking the math that failed him, he offered obvious yet effective advice instead. After defending Fort Endurance against a fierce Mantisaur attack, Executive Warchek was awarded a commendation for profit-securing stalwartness, as well as promotion to regional manager. He eventually passed peacefully in his sleep at the scientifically astounding age of 6. Augustine de Vries was killed on the reconstituted Horizon Point Station. A fitting end, considering her actions. De Vries' treachery was never known to the Earth Directorate. She is forever remembered as the star agent who tragically went missing during her mission. Val continued to serve the commander of the Incognito faithfully for many more years than should be possible, giving automechs like her everywhere a reputation as stable and reliable. As a result, more Valerie units were put into service, while fewer human agents were deployed into the field. As he rose through the Earth Directorate ranks, Niles pressed for a field directive to deploy the new Val units only when the situation posed significant risk. The policy reduced agent casualties by a significant margin. Oddly enough, in-office deaths increased by a not insignificant margin. Agent Niles Ibarra achieved the rank of commander, earning renown as a formidable agent, unafraid to challenge the status quo within the Earth Directorate. He recruited his friend Zebulon Tran to the Earth Directorate, a gesture of gratitude for not airing the Directorate's dirty laundry. Together, they vowed to reform the agency from within, so it might never again bargain with authoritarian governments. Ultimately, Niles rose to the position of Secretary General. His term saw the Earth Directorate at its most popular, or, in the eyes of corporations and tyrannical governments, most feared. Inez's convincing appeals to the press earned her clout in reforming Auntie's Choice's cruel grafting program. Yet it was a constant struggle, rife with red tape and pushback from program executives. This was Inez's new battle, one she would fight for the rest of her life. Utilizing what he learned alongside the commander, Tristan attempted to reform Protectorate society from within. But with no authority figure to lead its subjects, the Protectorate was a shell of its former self. Marisol quietly fumed over her unfinished business with Anaïs Bujold at Point Obviation. She eventually passed away in her sleep, alone and full of regret. With the modulator schematics shared as joint intellectual property, Auntie's Choice and the Order's partnership remained steady, despite the need for constant compromise. For a time, the Arcadia colony thrived. Auntie Cleo went through the motions of accommodating the Order, yet privately aspired to keep free trade anything but free. She began a new initiative. Any corporation or government that refused her trade conditions was promptly dealt with, either via takeover or strategic use of rifts. Auntie made her first public appearance in years, inspiring a fashion trend in bubble helmets. In no time at all, she won more public support than Ruth, which she sought to use as leverage when the time was right. Unable to acquire the chemicals needed for the process, Ruth Bassar nevertheless attempted to interface with the archive and died immediately. Her successor banned any future interfacing attempts and led the Order in a much more cautious direction, delaying their progress for at least a century. Adrift without firm leadership, Protectorate subjects struggled with post-war life. A small band of hardliners collaborated to preserve their society in the face of Arcadia's new leadership. Despite the recent tumultuous events in Arcadia, it was business as usual for Free Market Station. Sub Rosa continued to supply the colony in the wake of the commander's actions. The dangerous experimental research of Marisol's contact from Point Obviation lived on, with a Seer predicted 11.9% probability of yielding a universe-ending catastrophe. Meanwhile, an entrepreneurial work group of chemistricians unveiled a new flavor of Purple Berry Crunch. The rift compromise between the Order and Auntie's Choice led to prioritized assistance for the colonies that agreed to favorable trading terms. The so-called Auntie's Loyalty Program tripled the corporation's net worth. Meanwhile, the Order was able to sermonize their version of scientism alongside Auntie's marketing and PR onslaught, at least to colonies in Auntie's Loyalty Program. Many outside died because their rifts weren't closed in time. All of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia, its disparate factions, social complexities, ubiquitous product placement, and arsenal of absurdly satisfying weaponry. But through it all, and to this day, all of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia. Meanwhile, all of these events turned on, but through it all, and to this day,